Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast here on YouTube. It's an unusual little trade I got a hold of recently. This is Wildstorm Archives Genesis, the #1 collection. And this is basically reprinting the first issues of a bunch of their better known series. Now it's black and white. I got this extremely cheap because it's beat up. This copy is, this is a $10 thing. Came out in '98, but what it does is it reprints in black and white Backlash #1, DV8 #1, Deathblow #1, Gen 13 #1, Grifter #1, Stormwatch #1, Union #1, Webworks #1, Wildcats #1, Urban Storm. A page from that, Captain Pyro and the West Coast Pirates, and then a bunch of pinups and stuff. Some of this art looks good in black and white, some doesn't. That's the only thing bad about the image. Some of it really needs to cover, like while they didn't want, it was the Savage Dragon Archive. Some of those issues in black and white is hard as hell to read. Yeah, Backlash, was that Brett Booth? Yeah, Brett Booth. Now, I've not read this Backlash issue. I've read a few issues. I like Brett Booth's art. This is another one of those. I was making an order, and I was like, okay, I can add a little bit more to it and get some free shipping. And this was just a couple of bucks. Now we got DV8. This was the, Warren Ellis and Roberto Ramos. Basically, it was like the evil version of Gen 13. Another series I never read. I never read a lot of this Wildstorm stuff back in the day. Wildcats I read for the first miniseries and just gave up. Stormwatch. I have now read probably the first 20 issues of Stormwatch and then all of the Warren Ellis run. Gen 13, I knew I just never kept up with it. DV8, another one, I just didn't read that shit. And now, the stuff's getting extremely cheap. A lot of this stuff you can find in the, dollar bins, 50-cent bins. If you got a comic shop that has those, A lot of comic shops are getting rid of that because of space. Deathblow was one I read a little bit of. This was Brandon Choi and Jim Lee doing the art. It's very much Jim Lee going, hey, Sin City's badass. Let me try doing, some straight up black and white. Look at that. That looks like something out of Sin City. And I heard Deathblow got really good. I don't know. Gen 13, #1. This is the mini, probably, yeah. Jim Lee, Brandon Choi writing it, and J. Scott Campbell doing the art. It was basically their X-Men. And one time this book was, the Gen 13 #1 was like an expensive ass book. And now it's, all of this shit's forgotten. Almost all of this stuff is just 100% forgotten. It's merged. Jim Lee sold it to DC. He works for DC now. Some of the characters get used here and there. Not a lot. I did enjoy when they did the New 52 a few years back. They did that Grifter #1. They did that Stormwatch. They brought Stormwatch back, and it was basically like Stormwatch was in the Wildstorm universe with DC. It was actually entertaining. Didn't last very long. 20 issues or so. Grifter was a Wildcat member. Kind of their Punisher. Or, their gun guy with the mysterious mask. Yeah, he one of them. I never really gave that much of a fuck about Wildcats. I just read the miniseries to read it and finish it. Because I read the first issue. Okay, I'll finish this miniseries. Stormwatch. This is the one where the premise was interesting. It's basically a UN superhero team. This is Scott Clark's pencils on this. And it was not bad. And then Warren Ellis took over and just made it. Went from being Stormwatch to the Authority. Great stuff. Mark Millar's on there for a bit. Fiji, Diva, Winter, all these, Hellstrike, all these different characters. This art looks pretty good in black and white. There's a Jackson, I can't remember, Forrest Jackson, I think might be his name. There's the Weatherman. And that's the thing, Ellis used a lot of the stuff introduced in this first issue to first run. And the only bad thing about the Ellis run is that the end of Stormwatch, pretty much, is the Wildcats Alien miniseries, which is out of print. The trade's out of print, and it's probably going to go back in because, if I remember right, Marvel has the Alien, the Xenomorph license now, so I don't see that coming back. Union, this is one I never read, but it's Mark Texiera, so good art. I like it in black and white. It's got that scratchy look to it. Like that. Now, I like this paper because it doesn't You don't have the reflections on it. I was doing a video earlier. I had to move my lights a bunch because the whole page was glowing, shining. Wetworks. Oh man, Wetworks. Lost Pistachio. Supposed to be on the original Image 7, and then his book came out way later than everything else. I don't know what the fuck he's doing now. He's a name I have not heard in forever. And Wetworks was interesting. It was basically they were brought back from the dead with the like living armor shit. They fought vampires and werewolves, like this liquid metal Terminator, T-1000 kind of shit. But by the time the book finally came out, I just didn't give a fuck. Like, it was late. Like, not just normal Image late. Wildcats #1. It's Jim Lee, so the art's just nothing. Travis Sherritt. Dude is a fucking amazing artist, but doesn't do shit anymore because he married this woman that owns a couple of vineyards. So he doesn't do stuff anymore. It's rare you see anything from him. Another Travis Sherritt. He was such a great artist. And I know that supposedly for Wildcats, you really want to go up to when Alan Moore's writing it. I've read a chunk of that. I didn't like it. It was Jim Lee's X-Men, but I just didn't give a fuck about Urban Storm. The short Storm story is first intended to appear in Operation Urban Storm, a benefit book to help rebuild Los Angeles after April '92 rise. Due to various circumstances, the project was postponed. The story is still timely, no worries. My first pencil and ink project in some time. Jim Lee. This might be Ward's first print. I remember Operation Urban Storm. I remember it never coming out. Captain Pyro and the West Coast Pirates. Look at this shit. All the different characters. I mean, that's just a jumble of stuff right there. And then, that's it. Not a bad little trade. Good way to get some early stuff and, reread it. Put it back in. And my copy is listed as very good. It's a little beat up in hell for the price. There's another one that's a couple bucks. I hope y'all enjoyed that. And if you did, give me the thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all the other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.